I'm Dr. Fred Ogola. I'm the CEO of African Health and Economic Transformation Initiative. I'm also a professor of strategy and decision making. I have taught executives for over 10 years, and in these 10 years, I've trained more than 1 million executives. I've formulated over 1,000 strategic plans. I have been able to train board members to a tune of almost 70 board trainings. And in this sense also, I have been able to write articles in publications, over 460. I've written over 500 curriculums and published over 2,000 articles in the dailies on leadership areas. As the CEO of Aheti, what has made me to accept this position is the fantastic governance in place. The board members that we have are highly experienced, not just in Kenya, but not just in Africa and beyond. We talked with the executive director and agreed that we need to start everything right in the first place. And the team of board members who are there, not just their credibility, but the advice they can ask, the questions they can ask, means that before we take anything outside the world, they could have asked any other question that needs to be done. And because also the kind of initiative we're trying to do, the board of trustees will ensure that the fund and all the initiatives we are putting in place are held in trust. Remember, this is not about a market development. It's not about looking for economic benefits. Everybody is looking for how to make Africa better. It is a journey of humanity. It's a journey with humanity. And that's why the word Ubuntu becomes very important here. Now, after we have set up the board in place, I've also been given a fantastic secretariat, of course, backed by the fact that I'm working very closely with Father Charles, the Jesuits. They have very many technical people, but also we have very experienced people. We work with the sister bodies, very many Catholic bodies involved that have done so much. You can remember all the facilities in health, education that they've been able to bring forward. So my work will be to try to look for how can I bring all these parts together and champion a cause that will transform Africa forever. Remember the word transformative. Transformation is a key word in Africa Health Economic Transformation Initiative because of the fact that we want to do things differently. The visions come from the point whereby the global economic architecture, which was developed in 1945, was developed when Africa was not there. Africa was not on the table. Discussions were not there. And Africa is now following, trying to catch up. And actually you can't catch up because if you play a game you find being played, you have disadvantages. Regulatory environment is not for you. And also the health issue, the TRIPS agreement that governs how health is being manufactured with all the rules and regulations. Those ones Africa was not part of. So we need to champion that to change things at the macro level. At the same time, we want to be operating only at the macro level because healthcare cannot be solved in the boardroom. Somebody who has malaria, somebody who has diarrhea is having diarrhea right in the village there. But boardrooms can change it. So we will also be solving real issues. So just to be particular, the first and foremost thing we need to do here is that we have discovered that the global data which is being used for generating therapies, Africa's data gene is only 1%. And for us to reach there, to develop right therapies, we have to collect more African genomical data. And that's why we are targeting to move it, for example, from 1% maybe to 20%. When you reach 20% data, then you discover that the richness of that data will be able to make the therapies really target Africa. And that's what we call developing precision medicine. Precision medicine whereby we know the genetic variation of genes in Africa, and we develop medicine which will target that very genetical variation, rather than for us using the European data or the Western data to try to guess how we can treat Africans. So I'm not saying this, but this is the same thing that actually we have been treating Africa with guesswork. We have been guessing because we only have 1% representation. So after doing the tech lab, which we suggest we shall have 4 in Africa, East, West, North, and South, these biomedical research facilities will feed into those tech lab. And now using the fact that the world has advanced in terms of technology, we can be able to leapfrog the West in terms of how we can develop precision medicine, because we are being told that the genetic variation in Africa is higher than Europe. In fact, they say East Africa is the epicenter of genetic variation. Of course, you can know from the fact that the first man, if you like, from history, was discovered somewhere in Rosinga Island, and this is in East Africa. That's why it has got the richness and the freshness of that genetic variation. So apart from that, the other thing has to work. We have to develop what is called a data repository. A data repository is where now, after all this data we are trying to generate just is for genomical data, we need market data, we need health data. So we need other data that if we amalgamate together, we can be able to make better decisions on how we invest, on how we generate medicine. Because what we are trying to say that Aheti will be a data repository, but other people will be data owners. So Aheti is the hub, one-stop shop for all data. But other countries, other health facilities, other research centers can be able to bring that data to the hub, which is Aheti. And with Aheti, we'll have one-stop shop to do that. We have partnered with NEPAD to give us access across Africa in all 54 countries in Africa, and that will be able to come to pass. But of course, those are just the other part. They are the part which remains, which is very important, which is what is called what? Human resource for health. And we are investing in partnership with our partners. We are in negotiation with Yale, we are in negotiation with the Georgetown University to be able to develop and train health workers. But this is not just health workers like training nurses or doctors. First, the political class that are doing anything health, they need to be trained to look at health differently, because health has always been used as a policy. You can see a politician mentioning about medicine to win election, but now we want health as a science. So they'll be trained to ensure that they know what are the health policies needed. For example, we know the Abuja Declaration says that every country needs to invest 15% of their GDP on health. Are they complying? So we need to get that done. Secondly, we have to get people, because I've been seeing people being trained in health at their country level. We need training to be happening at the African level. Africans have not developed an African management mindset. That's why even to build East African community, Kenyans are threatened with East African community. Tanzania, the same. Uganda, the same. Because no one wants to think East African. If we can't even think East African, why are we not able to, can we be able to think African? So we want to train people to start having the African mindset, people managing things at the AU level, to support the AU efforts, to work with people like NEPAD, African Development Association, those kind of things we need to go at the African level. So those will be managers. For example, we talk about robust manufacturing medicine in Aheti has been helpful in developing what's called pharmaceutical manufacturing plan for Africa. If that plan is there, who will execute it? There must be a manager at the African level. After that has been done, of course, there must be, before people eat chips, somebody must peel potatoes. So there must be people who will be technically doing what is being done. We call them biomedical researchers, medical staff. So we are partnered with some universities in the Jesuit network, because the Jesuits have over 300 universities in the world. In Africa, Jesuits are in over 34 countries out of the 45 countries in South of Sahara. We will be able to use that network to be able to train people. At the same time, we have Africa who are best and brightest out there, whose skills and competence cannot be put in use in Africa. I'm not saying they're running after money, but they have got very advanced skills, and there's no single health facility, research center, lab that can get put to use their skills. So we are creating these tech labs, data repository, where these people can be attracted to leave their plum jobs in the US, in Europe, to come and develop a therapy for Africa with Africans in partnership with the rest of the world. And that's what we are trying to do, again, to enhance that human resource part. So we are going to partner to ensure that is done. And of course, lastly, media has always not known how to report health. They report health as a political issue. We also want to train media to know how to report health, so that everybody out there can have an accurate understanding or matters health, so that health people can also put money. I've seen people putting money on things which are not priorities, but they leave health because health has not been well communicated. This is the journey of Aheti. So when you say health, Aheti will be transformative, we have to have a paradigm shift in the macroeconomic level, in the microeconomic level, and also in the organization level, and also at the individual level. And media has a big role to play in communicating this message out there to ensure that everybody can get it right. Thank you.